Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Aquarius and Leo on Fridays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Bianco Nero. And in case you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. Also, just as a heads up, I do want to let you guys know that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. Case in point. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. All right, Aquarius. So I do just want to give you guys a heads up that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is actually a really interesting card because it has to do a lot with balance. So I think that there's an aspect in your guys' life that is a little bit out of balance right now. And often in my experience, the aspect that you guys will have most out of balance is how much you give to other people versus how much you give to yourself, right? So Aquarius is the sign of community and society and just like the world as a whole. So you guys have this very humanitarian aspect to you guys. As a result, you guys like to help out a lot, and sometimes you guys can help until it hurts. And, you know, while that is very admirable, you guys also need to look after yourselves a little bit. So that involves this balance. I think that you guys are going to probably have to make some pretty tough calls here, because I feel like in the past it's just been easier for you guys to help and not have to like say anything, to be honest. But now you're coming to a point where you're going to have to play the bad guy role a little bit more and put yourself first. And if you don't want to be the bad guy, then maybe like try to find a way where you can still put yourself first, but also help people in a way that is less, damaging to you, because you don't want to help people to the point where you're really, or where it becomes like a self-destructive habit. So I am seeing, however, that there is going to be a lot of communication here, because we have this Eight of Wands and this Six of Swords. So the Eight of Wands talks about fast, passionate communication, right? So I'm getting the feeling that this communication might be a little bit emotional. So for a lot of you guys, you might be dealing with, some kind of a love interest, or maybe even family members. You guys are getting messages and they're very fast. That's the highlight of the Eight of Wands, is that they're going to be very fast. And for those of you guys who are dealing in love connections, the Eight of Wands is oftentimes called the arrows of love. So it's a very good omen to see this card in your readings if you're trying to get some kind of relationship going. And on top of having the Eight of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is a card of leaving a situation for a better one. So I think that a lot of you guys have been kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place for a pretty substantial amount of time. So I think it's going to be very refreshing and very welcomed that you guys are going to move from, that very difficult position into sort of calmer waters, right? And that's the literal interpretation of this, because they're sort of leaving harsher waters for calmer waters, right? And I think that you guys are as well, and it'll be very refreshing when you actually get there. So this portion right here, I see the Death in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. So the Death in the reverse doesn't necessarily... So I don't want to scare you guys, but the death does not mean physical death, right? So the death means a metaphorical end, right? So the metaphorical death of a situation is when it ends. So with the death card being in reverse, I usually know that there is going to be some kind of aspect that you guys are kind of latching onto. Something that you're not exactly letting go or you let finish, right? And I'm getting that for some of you, it's something that you need to continue to hold on to. And for some of you, it's something that you need to let go. So it's going to depend which camp you're in. But for those of you who need to hold on to something and continue fighting for it, you need to ask yourselves, like, is this thing hurting me or helping me? And, you know, it can be very difficult to be honest with ourselves, but are you in a situation where you would be better off without it, you know? Because I see this King of Cups in reverse, and for me, that screams manipulator, right? Because the King of Cups is the most emotional king of the deck, and they will try to emotionally manipulate you in every way like possible. Like, this is the person that wrote the textbook on emotional manipulation, right? And the reason we know that is because it's the King of Cups in reverse. He's very immature with his knowledge of emotions. His ability to empathize with others and understand how they feel, he uses that for evil, right? So this person is, for lack of a better word, just like a really, really manipulative person. So if you're in a situation, let's say, where you have a partner, King of Cups also represents water signs, so it's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So if you're in a situation with a water sign, especially, if it doesn't resonate, that's not a big deal, but if it does, take that to be extra confirmation, and they're just like a very manipulating person, that would not be a good example of something to hold on to, right? Don't hold on to a relationship because you are afraid of what may happen, but let's say you're in a situation where you know that, for example, you're fighting for someone else who really needs it, and like they're kind of getting screwed over because of XYZ, and you're sort of representing this person because you know that they're a good person and they're not, they're like the victim here, right? Like that, there's a very fine line between those two scenarios in my mind. So, you know, use your intuition here, because I feel like it might be difficult. Either way, you guys are going to make the right choice, because you're seeing this Eight of Wands with the Six of Swords, energy moving into calmer waters. So with this Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, you're going to have communication, again, with the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. It's going to be very fast and very passionate, very fiery connection, very fiery communication. And with the Ace of Pentacles, you're going to receive newfound stability, which, like I was saying, you're balancing giving too much and taking too much, and you're looking for a happy middle in between where you guys can really prioritize your own stability while also helping others. So this newfound stability is probably going to be a result of your effort doing that, of the work that you're putting in for that. And also at the same time, it might be some kind of, because if you look at this card, there's an element of divineness here. So it's like you receive money from some kind of a divine energy, right? So that might be a promotion that you weren't expecting. Maybe you come into some kind of money that you weren't really expecting, or somebody like gives you a nice gift of some money. It just feels like you're, or maybe like you could do like a temporary job on the side, and then you make some extra money. Like something is going to come in, and it's going to be like a blessing from the sky that really gives you that peace of mind. And that's going to even further allow for this communication, because this is just like one less problem that you have to worry about. And like I was saying earlier, you have the Eight of Cups with very much complementing this death in reverse, because the Eight of Cups is all about leaving a situation. He has those 8 cups, but he's leaving them behind. He's going out to seek something else. And it's no coincidence that the Eight of Cups goes into the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. So you're going out to find your wish fulfillment, and this is the energy that you should be in. But I think that for a lot of you, it's very difficult to just up and leave in a situation. So that's why you're finding yourself in this death reverse, where it's difficult to sort of leave an aspect. But do know that even if it takes you a long time to get to this energy, that's okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles here, which the Knight of Pentacles represents a message of stability or some kind of stability coming in. But the fact that it's, you know, a Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest moving knight of the deck, right? So this message, which I think is like you giving the message, but this energy might take a long time, and that's okay. Because when it comes in, you're going to be very clear in your intentions, very clear in your mind. There's not going to be anything that's swaying you. Anything, for example, like emotional manipulation, that's not going to affect you. And you're going to be in a position where you can make a very lucid, clear decision. And I think that that's really good for you. So, Aquarius, that was your reading first time around. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I was saying earlier, I upload my new videos for Aquarius on Fridays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.